Yes, people, peace and blessings. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well and in good health. Okay, we're on a Guardian article right now. So, UK inflation. Let's see what's going on here. Egg and butter prices drive up UK food inflation as households feel the squeeze. Food inflation is basically at 4.2% this month, with prices increasing at fastest pace for the last year and a half, says British Retail Consortium. There you have it. As you can see, some eggs, prices of eggs are going up as well. So, a significant jump in the cost of grocery staples like eggs and butter is stoking food inflation, according to data pointing to a renewed cost of living squeeze. So, the British Retail Consortium said prices had risen at the fastest pace for 18 months, with food inflation hitting 4.2% this month. This was up from 4% in July and the highest reading since February 24, according to monthly shop price monitor. The BRC chief exec Helen Dickinson said the rapid rise added to the pressure on people already struggling with the cost of living. Staples such as butter and eggs saw significant increases due to high demand, tightening supply, and increased labor costs, she said. Chocolates also got more expensive as global prices of cocoa remain high owing to poor harvests. The BRC also said that its data showed that overall shop price inflation increased to 0.9% in August, even as non-food products fell by 0.8%. While shops were doing everything they can to limit price rises for households, Dickinson said the industry faces £7 billion in new costs after last year's autumn budget, when Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor, introduced changes to employee national insurance contributions and the minimum wage. Last week, more than 60 retail bosses, including big supermarket chains like Tesco, Sainsbury's, and Boots, warned Reeves that increasing taxes further in the next autumn budget could contradict her plan to improve UK living standards. In a letter coordinated by the BRC, the bosses said they were expecting food inflation to hit 6% later this year. Mike Watkins, the head of retailer and business insight at NIQ, said that uptick in prices also reflected other factors, including global supply costs, seasonal food inflation driven by the weather, and at the end of promotional deals linked to sporting events. As shoppers return from their summer holidays, many may need to reassess household budgets in response to rising household bills. Last week, official figures showed that inflation rose again in July to a higher than expected 3.8%, partly driven by higher food prices and travel costs. The annual rate of inflation, as measured by the Consumer Price Index, climbed from 3.6% in June to sit above the Bank of England's 2% target for the 10th consecutive month. Food and non-alcoholic beverages were up 4.9% year on year in July. The ONS found an increase from 4.5% in the last 12 months to June. Beef, orange juice, coffee, and chocolate were amongst the biggest risers. Droughts in Spain, Italy, and Portugal, where the UK sources much of its fresh fruit and veg, have pushed up prices this summer, at a time when prices typically fall. Higher grocery prices come as households also brace for steeper energy bills, with the industry regulator for Great Britain due to announce a new price cap on Wednesday. Obviously, winter's coming, so prices could increase there as people use more gas during winter times. Ofgem quarterly price cap is expected to rise by 1% in October, according to forecasts from Cornwall Insight, a leading energy consultancy. It has predicted Ofgem will increase the cap to £1,737 a year for a dual-fuel household from the current level of £1,720. The rise would come into effect in October and remain in place until the end of the year. Charities have warned such a rise could mean millions of households will struggle to pay their energy bills. Simon Francis of the End Fuel Poverty Coalition said the average household was paying 67% more for their energy compared with winter of 2020-2021. Massive increases in fuel poverty and also the cost of energy. The charity estimates that 12.1 million UK households are struggling with the cost of energy bills and says they cannot shoulder any more price increases. We are now approaching the fifth winter of energy bill crisis, and the time for tinkering with the price cap is over. Okay, so you can see lots of problems there on the horizons and currently already happening with the cost of living crisis, UK inflation generally, but also on food. So we've seen things like basic staples like egg, butter. I've even seen locally in my local supermarket the price of milk going up as well, considerably. And then you've got travel costs, stuff like that, adding to inflation generally as well. So there you have it. Do let us know in the comment section below, how is inflation affecting your lifestyle, your household bills? Are you actually suffering from inflation right now and the cost of living? Okay, people, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Support the channel by clicking the join button. Catch you in the next one.